Hey guys, welcome back to the Kyle Family Homestead. Today we're just going to do a quick walk around and a mid-spring update on our garden. And some things are doing fantastic and some things are not. Stick with us and we'll walk you through it. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about are the Amish paste tomatoes. This is our first time growing them. I say it's our last, but my better half here seems to think we should try it again, and so we probably will. So a couple weeks ago, we were hit by 3 days of solid rain. It rained for like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours a day, 3 days in a row. And then right after that, we went right back into the 90-degree weather. And that combo right there is not good for tomatoes. If you've grown them long enough, you know that the bugs will jump on them and the diseases will jump on them. So if the tomatoes that you're growing are not a hybrid and don't come with a good disease package, this is the thing that happens right here. We've got all kinds of yellowing. We've got worms that jumped on us. We've got stink bugs that jumped on us. It's not a good look. On top of that, I didn't stake very well and I didn't clean up the bottom so it would get nice airflow. So that combination was a complete disaster for this experiment in this raised bed. So we probably won't, no, not probably, we definitely won't be growing anything like this tomato, a non-determinate Amish paste for sure, in this type of raised bed anymore. We'll probably go directly in the ground like these tomatoes over here. But yeah, this is a lost cause. We are gonna get maybe, I don't know, 20 or 30 tomatoes, which isn't a total disaster. But as you can see, I mean, everything has jumped on this bunch. So that's that one. I look right here. Here's a worm. You should always spray before you see the worms. I did not do that because everything looks so great. I didn't see a first sign of a worm, and I live in Florida have lived in Florida all my life, and I've grown this stuff for years. So I knew better and I didn't do it, and this is the result of it. Again, with the in-ground box here, more cowbell, worms, disease, heat stress, all the way around, just not good because of like what I said earlier. Now you can see as we go down the line, some of these don't look half bad. I guess they have a better disease package in the, within the hybrid tomato than others. Some just look completely awful. These are all hybrids, by the way. They're no heirlooms. I didn't grow any heirlooms this year. You can see some of them really look pretty good, and some of them are blushing out. So we'll be picking those in the next day or two. If you caught our earlier videos, you know that we like to pick our tomatoes as they blush out. We don't wait for them to get fully ripened on the vine, because more than likely a possum, a raccoon, a rat out here in the garden, something will get it, whether it's a worm or a varmint. So we like to pick them early. So here is a really prime example. This here are the Shelby tomatoes, and they did not do good at all. Now that does have a little bit to do with the Florida weed failing on us, laying on the ground, but they did start turning yellow and getting really flea bitten up by worms and that way before the Florida weed fell, so I can't completely blame it on that. And here is our every year staple, the Bella Rosa. This tomato is just almost a home run for us. No matter what happens every year, the plant stays healthy, looks good throughout the growing season, and it gives us a ton of tomatoes. So if you have not tried a Bella Rosa in Florida, it's a wonderful tomato to try. This back here is our Sun Sugars. Again, if you watched our previous video, we weren't very thrilled with this tomato to begin with. Just wasn't the taste we were expecting and anticipating. That being said, total disaster. You can look down here. It's just fungus, worms, stink bugs, the whole gamut. Again, not all of it is a failure because we're still getting tomatoes, but we most likely will be cutting these down and taking them out of here within 2 weeks. Once it gets to a certain degree of heat here, the flowers won't set and there will be no fruit. So that's the point of no return here in Florida with tomatoes. That's why I always stress, if you're a Florida gardener, that you've got to get these things started in late January, early February in the greenhouse or in your living room or wherever you start seeds at. Earlier you can get these in the ground without, getting frostbite here for North Florida. the better, because once it starts getting hot and that heat starts coming, this fruit will not set and the tomato season's over. You're done. All right, so our cucumbers, these are Market More cucumbers. We're still getting tons of cucumbers. I think we'll still be okay growing these for about another 3 to 4 more weeks. So you can see here, I mean, we're still getting, we're still getting some really nice cukes. That one's probably ready to be picked.
Looks
there.
ready.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pick that one now. That one's ready. I mean, you can't beat that, right? So this has been a really, really nice surprise, to be honest with you. I've never grown Market More cucumbers, and they're doing really good. So yeah, not much more to say about this one. Okay, so in this box we just planted it's a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we planted some squash and zucchini. The zucchini were a free pack that I got at work. I don't know what kind they are, just basic zucchini. I don't really remember the name, but the plants are growing good. And the squash are gold prize from Haas Seed. We've grown those just about every year for the last 3 or 4 years, and they grow like crazy. Again, before the stink bugs get on them. I kind of wish I would have gotten them in the ground a little bit earlier, but I didn't. So I have to play the hand that was dealt to me, and hopefully we get some more before it gets really hot. Okay, these are Clemson spineless, and this was my seed that I grew out for something else. These are struggling. I grew these in starter packs before. I didn't direct seed these. I grew them as starters, and then I transplanted them. And I don't know if it's just our 93 degree heat, but they are really struggling. They're on a struggle bus coming up. I'm watering them twice a day. Yeah, we'll see if they make it. I know okra really like the heat once they get going, but they're not going yet. So we're gonna see and keep our fingers crossed that they'll pan out for us. This is our melon box, or watermelon box. Again, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's D-O-L-C-E, Dolce or Dulce watermelons. They're getting there. They're not quite there yet. You can still see the tendril is real long and green. Again, if you don't know how to tell if a watermelon is ready, obviously it's still small. This tendril right here will dry up really small and brown. That's one way to do it. And then the underside will turn almost a real light yellow pale color with a flat bottom. That's a really good indication too. And some people know how to knock them and hear the hollow spot. I don't know how to do that, but that's how I like to tell, is when that tendril dries up all brown on that watermelon vine. That's how I know when to pick them. So we're not there yet. Maybe 2 or 3 more weeks and we should be able to get a couple watermelons. Okay, just a quick update on the Durango peppers. They're not quite ready yet. I think they turn like a purplish black color. You can see here the size of them. They're absolutely all just gorgeous. They're huge. We got a number of them on each plant, so we're gonna wait on these to harvest them and let you know what they look like and taste like when they're ready. So in this box we have Hidalgo peppers. These are not quite ready. I mean, you could pick peppers whether they're green or fully ripened. It doesn't really matter. They taste a little bit different throughout the different ripening stages. So depending on what you're gonna do with them and how you're gonna use them, you can pick them now or wait. But these are still in the green stage, and these will get bright red once they're fully ripened. Okay, so we're gonna harvest some Cuban peppers, Aruba Cubans to be exact. They're getting a little full and a little weighted down, and I'm afraid if a good storm comes through here, we're gonna break them. They're not 100% ripe, but they're ripe enough and ready enough to harvest for what we're gonna do with them. We're gonna stuff them with some hamburger meat and some rice and tomatoes tonight. So we are going to harvest just enough to take the weight off of the branches and hopefully help the tree survive if a storm does come in. So if you're going to zoom in here, and you'll see that they are gigantic. But from my understanding, I think they're supposed to turn a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they turn red.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. They're perfectly fine for what we want to do with them. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and start snipping them off. I'm going to be kind of selective here. Like I said, I'm not going to take them all off one tree. That might be good. We'll take a couple off this one too. I mean, they're absolutely just gorgeous. And here's what we got, guys. Enough for dinner tonight?
I'd say.
On this box is roulette peppers. Again, these are still in the green stage. They will turn bright red, and we have grown these in the past, and they have a really citrusy sweet flavor to them. And we grew these specifically to add to our salsa, just for a different flavor of the salsa. So we're really excited for these to be fully ripened so we can get that salsa canned up. Okay, for our last pepper box that we're gonna go over, these are our green bell peppers. And they are just, I mean, they're probably some of the prettiest pepper plants we've ever grown to date. They're full, they're tall, they're green, they're luscious, they're big. And most of all, they're putting out a ton of peppers. We're gonna go ahead and pull a couple peppers off now. We're gonna eat them this week, so we're gonna try to save as many as we can so we can time the peppers, the tomatoes, and that's it, right? Peppers and tomatoes.
Well, we already have onions, so.
We already have the onions. Yeah, so we're gonna try to time some peppers and tomatoes to harvest them at once so we can do as fresh as possible when we do our salsa. Don't know how that's going to play out, like I said, because now we have a heat wave coming and we're expecting mid-90s for 10 days with no rain. So it's not a good spring. It went right from, you know, really nice weather to scalding hot weather with no rain, then tons of rain, right back to scalding hot weather. That's the life in Florida garden. That's the life of a Florida gardener, right?
Yeah.
So we're just going to go ahead and cut a couple off so you can take a look at them. We'll do one here. I mean, that is just, I mean, that's a
It's beautiful.
all around beautiful pepper. And I have one more I'll pick down here. And there's something else that's happening to the peppers that I'll show you. So that's another one.
Oh, so pretty.
So this is what happens to peppers when it gets really hot and they get exposed to sun. That's called sun scald, sorry. And it's fairly typical on peppers if they get on the corners like that where they don't have any protection from the leaves hanging over them and they're exposed to sun, they will get that. So don't be too alarmed. All of them won't do that unless they're all exposed, but there are reasons that these leaves droop over like this so they can protect the peppers. This one just happened to be on a corner that was not exposed. I mean, every single plant is loaded like that. Okay, this is the last thing we're gonna touch on today. It's getting a little dark, the sun's going down behind us quick, and that's our blackberries. We're having a really great blackberry season. You can see here, we still have them ripening. They're still in the green stage and going to the red stage, and next will be the black stage. We still have a ton left to ripen, but they're just ripening a little late this year for some reason. And here's some available to see that are ripe, the black there. So, but that's it. That's for the quick update on the Kyle Family Homestead today. And we thank you so much for tuning in. Our subscribers, we're getting up there onesies and twosies every week, and we're thankful for that. We appreciate you guys tuning in to our little backyard garden here. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Okay. All right.
It's been recording.
Okay.